Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Aurogiri. So, a lot of you who are already in the loop, who watch all the changes that Cyberstep puts up, all the updates and all the stuff, like, even if they're playing on Xbox or PS4, like if PC gets a new update, they go click on the link, it's like, oh, what did they get? It's like, oh, look, a new Vanguard or a new warding or a new dungeon or whatever. What happens time and time and time. Hey Lossel, nice that you're at work. Attaboy, making that OC. So for those that know, this week, Tuesday, Monday, somewhere around there, Cyberstep announced a huge overhaul to the game. It includes mechanic overhaul, combat, but most importantly, it affects every recipe in the game. Good morning, Eva. Good morning. You didn't go to school yesterday and changed to wand? You changed to wand? My God. Alright, well, that might not be the best decision anymore. But, this is what we got to talk about. So, I'm actually going to pull up this article, like, legit. I'm not just going to try to paraphrase everything I remember. Like, I'm going to open the tweeter and everything. So, on Tuesday, update dropped. On PC. It's not on PS4, it's not on Xbox. We don't have anything to worry about for at least a year. But it's still very important to talk about because this affects everything. Like 90% of what we know has changed. And it's pretty hectic. So here I am on my Twitter. I'm going to search for Onigiri US or whatever. Onigiri. So here we go. Scroll down. Someone posted a picture. Oh, I know that guy. What are these Lancelot weapons? Those are cool. Okay. People gotta stop posting pictures and shit. Trying to find a link. Where'd it go? What the fuck? There it is. So it was the November 29th update. This sounds scary. It does a bit. It does a bit. So here I am on the page here, and I'll read it to you. So it says, "Greetings from the Onigiri management team. In this update, we would like to introduce some new regulations to the game that will make it easier for players to craft weapons as well as Magatama." So that's the original intent, and this is phenomenal. In no way this is bad. There is in no way this is bad. Hey Lorette, how are you? So the first thing they show is Lancelot, their newest Vanguard. I've seen a video of her from our buddy Brody. She's pretty cool, does lots of damage to logos, so she's awesome. And she's got all these weapon recipes and stuff, and you can buy them from some special shop or something between now and 2 weeks or something like that. But the interesting but big risk, it is Sephiroth. It is. Well, I don't know how it's a risk, tell you the truth, because they just want to get more people into the game. Who's this? Hi Keef. Okay. But yes, hello. So they show that. And then it says, additionally, the types will now be displayed for enemies and partners during battle. So it shows like Infernal Gargoyle, because I don't know why, but then they're using some ineffective attack on it, and it shows like 300 blue damage, and this guy's a scrub because he's only hitting like 5,000 on a good hit, and on a good hit it shows 5,000. So it says regular damage is displayed in white, while a not very effective attack is blue, and a super effective hit is red. If you want to take it into like Pokemon terms, where you just have neutral hits, not very effective hits, and super effective hits. So that's pretty cool. And critical damage will still show the aura around it, so like your attacks glow when you get a crit. So like high crit, you're always glowing. That's what you want. So there'll be a lot more color-codedness in our attacks, and you'll be able to see how ineffective or effective things will be. It also says miss will display if an element which an enemy is resistant to is used. So when it says miss, it's kind of scary, because normally miss only occurs if, let's say, you fail a mind check when you use a staff, or if your weapon is broken and you try to hit something. Like I could take my broken, if I broke my Datenru and tried to use Intimidate, even though it doesn't do any damage, if it's broken, it just goes miss, 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 and nothing happens. It just nothing happens. So that I'm scared to think that our attacks, like if you tried to hit Infernal with like a fireball, if it said miss, I'll be like, holy shit, that's crazy. That's really crazy. Because, you know, and I've heard just from, you know, word of mouth that it's really weird for mages because, you know, 90% of all wand skills are 100% element. And when it's 100% element, like let's say it resists that element, well, that's gonna nullify the damage, question mark? Or will, because like let's say my attacks, right? Collapsing Blade is Slice and Dark. The chance of something being immune to Dark and Slice is crazy that it would have double immunities. So maybe it's like immune to the Dark part of it, but it still takes the Slice part of it. Or Water Dragon's Pierce and Water, you know what I mean? It's weird to say. Like, I know Bow and Wand, their Datenru Force Ogi is 100% Dark. So you couldn't use that on something immune to Dark, question mark? But whereas for Spear and like every other class, it's part Pierce, so maybe it would hit. Like I don't know all the mechanics yet, but it's going to be something to look forward. Well, not to look forward to, but it's going to be something to, like, not look forward to in a anticipation way, but something you want to be weary of, if that makes sense. So, and then it says monster types now display. So there's going to be beast type, monster type, specter type, and soul type. And it's going to be like rock, paper, scissors sort of deal, where beast beats monster, monster beats specter, specter beats beast. And that right there is a weapon triangle for those familiar with Fire Emblem or, you know, Pokemon. Grass beats water, water beats fire, fire beats grass, etc., etc. You're more concerned for the mobbing. If imagine half of what the mob is, yeah. That we're getting to that, Garen. That's the biggest point we have to worry about. We're getting to that. Don't you worry. That is my #1 concern when I saw all of this, was that, and that's why I'm making this video now. Like I'm making an overall video, and then I'm making like pinpoint things we got to do, and that's #1. And then there's also a soul type, which is just completely neutral. Nothing beats it, nothing, it's just constant damage. So it shows that Kijimuna is a beast type, therefore it is weak to Spectre attacks. I don't know what those are, but apparently I think this whole mechanic is, the whole mechanic is there for Vanguards and balancing Vanguards. So let's think. Oh, we got his Infernal. Cool, Chief. So it says here, like on the Miyamoto page, that Miyamoto Musashi, and whoever took this picture is a scrub because she's level 21. I'm not answering that phone. The phone stopped ringing. So I don't know why I didn't unhook it. I wasn't thinking. I just came in from like shoveling snow. So you should have stayed a sword. Maybe prosecutor. I don't think it's all that bad. I mean, we haven't seen it yet, and it's been out for 3 days. There's still testing to be done. But so this whole beast type thing is more about the Vanguards, and this to me, in my opinion, you know, I haven't been there, but just my spectator's opinion, like like they're introducing that Miyamoto is weak to soul type monsters but strong against monster type. Oh, not monsters. She's weak against the soul type, strong against monster type, strong against Spectre, and also weak against Beast. So she's got 2 pluses, 2 negatives. And they also show Sasuke here, but they don't click on Sasuke. Let's assume for 10 seconds that Sasuke is strong against soul type, weak against monster, weak against Spectre, but strong against Beast. Like the complete opposite of Miyamoto. So they're trying to be like, oh, well, you know, everyone's just spamming Miyamoto like it's goddamn Christmas. You know, it's the only thing that there is. So, like, they're probably gonna be like, well, we gotta balance the Vanguards so that people want to use different Vanguards for different situations, and they're not just using level 150 Miyamoto every goddamn day. Well, then, you know, in my perspective, I think, you know, people pay $200 to $500 effing dollars for this girl, Cyberstep. You know, they paid their good money. That paying $500, paying more money than your console is worth for an item in the game is ludicrous beyond belief. But we do it. Not everyone does, but we do it. You know, if the kid wants to play with his OP samurai waifu, let him do it. You know, he made that choice. And if other players are like, well, I don't have Miyamoto, so I can't do shit. Well, it's like, you're shit. You know, you gotta kill stuff to use Miyamoto. It's not just she's always active. They already got rid of charging on PC, so like, sometimes you'll be watching a video and I'll be charging with a staff and trying to fill up my bar. Well, you can't do that in the future. Like, that was taken out a while ago, but we can't, that won't be here forever. That gets patched out. They make it so that durability, like literally you'd be like, durability consumption via charging on a Wander staff does not fill up the bar, whereas durability consumption anywhere else would. So that's how that works. That they've already like axed that method, so that's gone in the future. So that's shit. But that's something else that's not part of this update, but it's something else that has been already touched upon. I just never talked about it. So here's where we get to the awesome part, like the awesome, the good stuff. So this is hype as, oh shit, man, this is gonna be hype. So it says weapon recipe and weaponsmithing. So the requirements to all, and they capitalize this word, all weapons and Magatama have been relaxed, making them easier to craft with less materials, except, all caps, for the following. So here it lists a bunch of shit we don't have yet, but I assume that 90% of it is the latest content on PC. So here we have, you know, it says Oni no Dachi. Yes, we have an Oni no Dachi. The reason this recipe is not relaxed because it is piss easy as is, and you need it for gargoyle weapons and other things, so don't worry about it. Then it also shows like Cupid's, Bow of Cupid's Love, Blood Rapier, basically every Blitz Tiamat weapon, all of Lancelot's stuff, Logos Ahriman weapons, and then all of it's like Lancelot shit, and that's pretty much it. So it's like got this Thunderclap thing, and Sovereign Supreme, and Reverence, and Perfectus, and all this stuff. So it's basically just all the Lancelot new stuff is legit, like you have to go do it. But it doesn't list Mephistopheles, it doesn't list Satan, it doesn't list Lucifer, it doesn't list any of the other wordings, and it's amazing. So Wolfpack says, when you say the future of the game, is Cyberset planning to give to Square Enix? No, not like that. No, they have Final Fantasy 15. They don't give a shit about Onigiri. Don't you worry. So, no, it's not like that. Yeah, I'm talking like the future for the players, not for the company. I'm not saying, oh, their stock is down today. You better put your stock into buttered milk. Like, no, that's not what I'm talking about. So, don't you? I think you're making a joke, but okay. You love Square Enix? Pro tip 48 PC Redux vid comment. Oh, they're coming. Don't you worry, Sephiroth. It's not gonna be one video. I'll be making like videos for everything, because the wiki, actually, this is another point. The wiki is made by PC players for PC players. It's just by chance that we can go and look at it. So with everything changing, like some things have already started changing, others have not. And when I get to Magatama recipes, I'll tell you. But a lot of, even the 105 Magatama recipes have been relaxed. You don't need as many mags, including fuse recipes. So when we as console players, Xbox, PS4, whatever, you know, we go and look. If I wanted to go look up the Thunderquake, like if I'm just getting started, right? I got on PS4. I want to be a spear user like Oro, and I want to get this stuff. If you go to the wiki and look up how to make a Thunderquake, you will not see Leo or Cancer there because they are not necessary in the future. On PC right now, it'd be piss easy. If I went to PC today and I put in like 2 weeks of my time, I could have like half of my shit now. Like I would have 105 megs out the ass. All I need is friendship items. And I would have 310. I would have, like, all I need is a Hyotengu, and like I get my 2 literatures. I play through the game. I would get 2 literatures, a Cancer, or no, 2 literatures, a Gemini, and an Aries. I would go through the game with like 200 skill fours. I wouldn't care. I would get a Hyotengu, get that bitch to like 50, and then I would just farm war a bazooka on hard, get like 7 logs, get my friendship to max, get free Sagittariuses, go get someone to carry me and Cat, and then get some Cockatoos, and that's a Thunderquake. You just gotta get some gems on top of that, and that's done. You just get the Tanegashima, you're good. Done, done, done. You don't need Leo, you don't need Cancer. You just need the Sagittarius, which is from Bargains. And same thing for Axe. All you need is the Watatsumi, the Bloody Festival, and the friggin'... Well, you obviously need a recipe too. And Spear is easy because it's new. Everyone's running new. Someone's always running new. And etc, etc. But we're going to touch on that more in a minute. I just wanted to express the gravity of how relaxed this stuff is. So we go to the Magatama list. It says Purity Mag. It's a story mag. It's the same. Sickle Moon is not going to be easier. Isolation is still the same. And then it shows all this stuff like Fresh Blood and Black Bear. Black Bear! Fucking Fusion Bear Magatama is like the best mag in the game. My boy. There's a reason this thing is not reduced. Thing gives you like 110 skill force and like fucking 80 rain. It's amazing. I can't wait for it to come out. And then Tempest Magatama, which is the mags above Fuse, like the next step. Those are not relaxed at all. Like they take 3 fused and a bunch of shit. The only difference is that fused are a little bit easier to make, so technically they are relaxed, but they're not. And there's something to worry about way later for us, like a year, maybe 2 years ahead of us at the rate they update our game. But you never know with Cyberset because they gave us Logos Aramin long before he was due. So, you know, we have weapons we can make that we can't wield because our level cap isn't there yet. It feels like Echigo again with Genobusters and stuff. Junction weapons. Well, actually, our level was high enough. We just couldn't craft them, which is funny. So then all the other Magatamas there in your thing that Kage can make, like Topaz, Argentine, Jasper, whatever, they're all the same. Like, they're not going anywhere. So it says here, now, this is another awesome thing for wardings especially. It is the Monster Strength modification. Monsters in the following dungeons that require energy to enter, such as wardings and special event dungeons, have had their strength changed to stop fluctuations depending on party members. And essentially it just means if you're doing a one-man Infernal Gargoyle Hell, you know, usually he'll have less health. And if you come in with 5-man, he has increased health, about twice as much health because there's, you know, 5 people in the party. Exactly, Bolo, and yeah, exactly. So it lists here, like right here, it says Infernal Sleet, or Infernal Sleet Levin. So, and Crag, for whatever god's name Crag is here. Why would you do Crag? Crag is stupid. There's supposed to be a video about that, because people keep doing Crag Gargoyle. All the Dragon Arcs are here, Origami Magma, whatever that is. Golden Weapon Hunt, what the fuck, really? Nightshade, Narlethatep, Glacies, Typhon. So it's going to be really easy to farm Glacies, but there's no point, because you don't need... Well, I guess you can get Veterans from him. It's Narlethatep that gives you other stuff. Vizel Odin, Arms Dealer, Abyss Gargoyle, Logos Aramin, Eldritch Beast, Golden Weapon Hunt, Vita and Moors, Fragrant Cavern, Forest of Miracles, like assault and all the other stuff with the reward up is still the same. Apparently they're different dungeons because you enter them on the weekend, and then Blitz, Tiamat, and all that stuff, they've had their rewards increased as well. So that's another thing. But basically saying is, if you go in like 5 people, it's still the same health as 1 person. So, you know, you get 5 mages with Novas to go into 11, and they all hit them with like 3 fireballs. Well, if they all hit a mil, like 3 mils times 5, that guy's dead because he's got 15 million health. It's done. 2 seconds. Boom, 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 boom. Done. 11 is dead. Just for perspective. So, and then we scroll down again, and we have the worst thing about all of this. Now, this is the biggest axe to free-to-play players. Now, in my opinion, because, you know, they're Cyberstep's in no way not greedy, you know, they love their players. They make a great game. We love this game. We wouldn't play it if it wasn't good. But a lot of people are free to play, you know, but they, at some point, when you want to make the good shit that takes artisans, you're not going to go and farm 2,000 lucky boxes to make 1 weapon. That's ludicrous. And our workaround to that is the Pointeruma. This is something Xbox doesn't have yet, but we've had it for a couple months now, all summer. It's a great, great tool. And midway through, I found out that, like, from the Pointeruma, you can get the Gargoyle Ogis and the Death Scythe Ogi. And after you buy them, you can trade them in for like 30 points if you want. Although it's not economical to do that, because the points it takes to get it is not the same as what you get in return, in my opinion. Give me 1 second here. I gotta look at something. So, I'm just double checking here. So yeah, so it's all 3 skill card set 3, 4, and 5. So let me get out of this lake I'm in. How do I get out? I don't know. I want to go look at the Pointeruma because it'd be a better example. Okay. So there he is, Le Pointeruma. So point exchange. Here we go. I feel like it's gonna crash my game. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, it's because I'm not. I have to go to gift exchange. That's right. So if we go to skill cards here, you can see everything I'm talking about. So this is everything they list here. Oogie's 15, 16, 17, 18. So Death Scythe, and then Lance, Lance, and Lance. And then you have skill card 3, 4, and 5. So 3 costs 3,000, 4 costs 4,000, 5 costs 5,000. It's not too big of a deal. So, you know, like it's Thundercrack, it's Sunlight Strike, it's basic skill cards. Sometimes you need them for a weapon, like wand user might want Ice Bolt 3 or something like that. Good skill. You know, these skills don't really matter. This is not the point of what we're talking about. But these things here, they cost 3,000 points. You can buy about 10 of them a day. I've been buying them regularly. I can buy 3 left and all that stuff. Hey Isaiah, we're talking about the PC changes coming in the future. So, like, let's say I want to buy all these cards, right? It costs me $10, maybe? Yeah, I think. Anyway, usually it costs about $12 to buy all of these cards. And if you did, you know, because if you put in $12, it would be that much Daruma points. You know, in terms of OC to whatever ratio. Anyway, each of these cards trades in for 5 points in the Neon Koropan. So if I buy, you know, if I collect 30,000 points, which is $3, I can get 50 points, because they're all with 5 points. So that is 3 Artisan Swords. And then here, that's 3 Artisan Swords. And then that's 3 Artisan Swords. So that is 9 Artisan Swords, which is the minimum it takes to get a crafted weapon to 100, because it's Artisan Swords. So $12 is literally, oh, you can get any weapon for $12. That's awesome. you know, minimum. But they're axing this. They're making, on PC right now, you cannot do this method. You cannot trade in a skill card. These skill cards are non-usable there any longer, which means the only things free-to-plays have to trade in are Friendship Beckoning Cats and Friendship Kamenus. Like, and I don't think you can trade in gacha tickets either, because if we could, I would trade them some bitches in for 150 points or whatever they're worth. I don't think you can, because that'd be dumb. I've never looked at what a gacha ticket trades in for, if anything at all. And I don't think you'd want to wait once a month to get a gacha ticket from login and just to trade it in for 5 points or whatever it's worth. Exactly, Eva. Exactly. It's time. And that's what that future video, I'm going to make a video all about this. It's just going to be like, yo, if you ever put money into this game, you better put it in that point room before it's too late. Because they might throw this update at us tomorrow. Because he didn't trade for swords? No, you can't. Man. See, exactly, Balloon. Exactly. Exactly. He didn't know it was tomorrow. He didn't know. And why was he stocking them up? Don't hold your cards in your hand, because if you don't play them, you can't win. You know, he should have traded them in right away. That was 500 points, 500 Druma points. That is a lot of swords, like 150 artisans, right? No, maybe, I don't know, can't math right now, but that's a lot. You know, you divide that number by 3, which is 33, and then it's like 90 artisans. It's crazy. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. So that's the biggest thing we got to watch out for. Is I implore everyone, like, if you're going to put money in this game, and let's say every week you're like type of person who puts like $20 into the game every week, whatever reason, you know, you'd have a job, it doesn't matter. I know a lot of people like that. You know, I would rather just put that money into the game and get your artisans every week, as opposed to just rolling a $5 on the cat, you know, unless you're trying to get a Vanguard or something else. So yeah, exactly. And let's say, you know, you get those 1,000 artisan, or I wish you get those 1,000 lucky boxes. You pop them all open. You know, my friend Cluster has gotten 1,000 boxes, and he's opened them up, and he's gotten about 20 swords. So do the math there. That's one every 50, maybe. Yeah, it's pretty sad, you know. It's a scary thought. Like, I have 130 boxes right now. How many artisans do I have inside? Maybe 3? Maybe? Hopefully? That's insanity, man. Like, that's crazy. Trade will be available from today? Nah, Fernando. Nah. No, we don't have trading yet. No, sir. Not on PS4. Not yet. If we had trade now, that'd be crazy. Maybe 0. Exactly. Eva's right. Exactly. And then they have some OC campaign, and that is it. So, you know. So that's all they have for that post there, you know. So it would make everything easier on this console. Oh, hell yeah. So let's take a brief moment. Exactly, Randale, exactly. So let's take a brief moment to talk about how some of the recipes have changed. Because I talked about the 105 mags, and I talked about a little bit about fused, and I talked about nothing else yet. So, as I was saying, the wiki is changing in favor of PC, and since, you know, I'm more focused on console. Now if you go to the wiki and you look up Thunderquake Magatama, like I was saying, I thought it was the only one that knew about this. Nah, you're not, man. It's happening, Black Rock Shooter. It's happening. So, on the wiki, it's going to show, like, if you look up Thunderquake, it says you require a Sagittarius, a Cockatoo, and a log. So, generally speaking, it's going to require the last mag on the list of your normal 105, plus the dual mag, hybrid mag, plus your random mag that you get in Tanegashima, plus 2 of 1 gem, Scarlet or Cerulean, and then 1 Myrtle. And that's the recipe. You don't need, like, you don't need the Leo, you don't need the Cancer. You know. And if we go look at Kieran's, exactly, it's Kieran Hunter Badger. That's it. That is it. Spear and Twin Sword are equally as good on PC. Like, it's easy to make them. It's bam, bam, bam. Get your bargains to +7, you're done. Or negotiation 7, it's over. No, it's not. Because it all just comes down to farming that 1 mag, which is Hunter. That's it. Hunter, Log, Bloody Festival, Ronin. That's all that matters. It's a grand equalizer for 6 of the 8 classes. I think. I've never looked at the Crucifix though. So let's look at Crucifix here. Let's just take a couple seconds to look at all of them. Why not? So I'm not on PC, so I can't look at everything, obviously. But I went to ornamentation like a scrub. That's awesome. Exactly. They are. That's why I'm playing Twin on Xbox. So Magatama crafting. So if we go to, you know, power, I don't have the Ruretsu recipe actually, so I can't look at Ruretsu. Sorry, but I know that Ruretsu is just Wadatsumi. So for the people that miss out on Himorogi, it doesn't matter. You just need the Wad. You need the Wad, the Bloody, and the Thorough War, which drops all the time in Palace, so whatever. So Sword is probably just going to be Amara, which you get at Bargains level 4, and then Ronin, Scorpion. Like, that's it. Like, generally speaking, it's always been the last mag. And then you have Attack Star. Attack Star only requires Watermelon, Pressure Point, and Gassan, so field bosses for days. Let's go to Spear, Thunderquake, Sagittarius, Log, Cockatoo. I can make one right now. I can make like 2 right now. I need gems, but obviously, you know what I mean. So let's go to, what is this, Mind? Talonbreaker. Talonbreaker requires Renge, Magic, and Nigetsu. You no longer need Shoko, you no longer need Enma. Mages are no longer screwed out by bargains, and they don't have to farm for Enma endlessly. The only problem is, you have to farm field bosses for days. That's it. And Nigetsu, whatever, it's easy on the moon. You know, these things all drop on the moon anyway. Then you have Crucifix. So Crucifix, I'm not sure about. It is the Fugen. So Fugen might be a mag you have to farm for. I am not entirely sure. I don't think anyone should be a staff main, so I don't know. If we want to take a second, I will look up Fugen on the wiki. Fugen. But I will be making like separate videos for all of these later on. But I'm just curious to see which ones really suffer. So Fugen is a rank 10 mag for staff. It drops everywhere. It is a reward on every moon dungeon, and Glacius Typhoon, and Nightshade, and Cave of Infinity, and Dagger's Peak. So for those of you on Xbox, do some Dagger's Peak and get it. And then when Luna leaves, get some more Fugens by doing Dagger's Peak or Cave of Infinity, because they're all gone. And it can also be a reward for Arms, Dealer, and Puppet, and General Shoko, and all that stuff. But there is no, aside from that, there is no easy way to get it. You would, oh no, I'm wrong. So this is a Field Boss mag, I'm sorry. This is a Field Boss mag. See, this is why I don't know anything about staff. So lots of ways to get this. So you get this from the Yagyo in Ozumi Plains North, West, South, and the Lookup Niudo in Izumo. So very easy locations. You can go one-shot that boss right now and try to farm your Fugens if you need staff stuff, but I don't know why on earth you would ever need staff stuff. So, unless you're making a Tempest mag, and in which case it would, that's fine. So, what else is left? And then there's Dancing Water, which we just talked about, which is, yep, Kieran, Hunter, Badger. Easy peasy. And then I think that's all of them. Yeah, there's only 8. So bow and wand and staff all need to farm field bosses, whereas spear, twin, and axe and sword all have to do bargains. I don't have the Wicked Wolf. That's right, I do not have the Wicked Wolf, but I am 90% positive you just gotta do Kage's Home on basically any difficulty, and you will get the Shinonome, the Dusk, and the Yoke. Would you mind sending me them hunters? No. No, you're not getting my 10 hunters. Fish. The most random word ever. Fish. Okay. What's going on here? People are talking. Alright. Gotta spend like 200. Oh, they're talking about my clothes. Anyway. So that all happened, right? So mags are way easy to make. Just on touch, what is it? Let's touch on the fuse mags. So fuse mags are pretty much easier for most classes. So fuse mags, I've seen the recipe. It's not up on the wiki as of last time I checked. So to make a fuse mag, you still need your seal, so that doesn't change. Apparently, seal drop rate went up, so that's awesome. But for every fuse recipe, they have dropped 2 of the rewards that you need. So for Thunderquake, which I've seen because our friend Brody has it, for Thunderquake, and it's really weird why they did this, but for Thunderquake, you no longer need Elixir and you no longer need Globe. However, and you no longer need Cygnus. I think all you need is the 117 mag for your mag, and that's it. I think you don't need the 110. Because I think you just need the Wild Goose, a Thunderquake. So you need Thunderquake, Wild Goose, and then you're going to need 3 of the 5 rewards and a Spirit Seal. That'd be great, Rando. So, but the ironic thing about the Thunderquake is the Wild Goose drops in Kaguya's Home, which is where you get the Globe, and our recipe and the Spirit Seal drops in the Palace of Rain, which is where Elixir drops. So, whether you like it or not, you're still farming the same dungeons, including Benkei Factory, Lacus Mortis, and Dew Creek. So, it changes nothing. So let's talk about another weapon that's just to show you how relaxed these things get. A cross can be made in like an hour. Like that's it, and that's it. Where is Yoshitsune? So I'm gonna go to weaponsmithing here. Let's go look up Omen of Doom, or whatever this is called, End of Days. So to make an End of Days star, it currently takes 4 plus 20 End of Days. On PC, it takes 1. On PC, you get one End of Days, you collect 2 End of Days, and you enhance it to plus 20. You've made a star. Congratulations. To make a cross, you get a star to 30, and you're done. That's it. You've made your cross. You get the star to 30, and then you have like these 3 drops here: a spellbook, a flame, and bloodstained key. You don't even need fallen angel wings. It's just spellbook of rage. Like, that's it. You don't even need the fallen angel wings, which is, I think. Let me double check this, because I had them all open the other day. Omen of Doom cross, yep. So, Omen of Doom cross. No, I'm wrong. You need a star at plus 20. Not even plus 30, just plus 20. You need 1 Shivering Wind, 2 Demon Overlord's Chaos, which isn't even a thing here. What? Is that real? Where's the Omen of Doom? Omen of Doom, come back. There you are. Oh yeah, okay, so I didn't know Satan had 2 alternative drops, okay. So half of the weapons need flame, the other half need chaos, but it doesn't matter. But you just need one of either 2 weapons, one of these 2 things, and then Shivering Wind, and then Spellbook, and you don't need Fallen Angel Wings, and you need one of these at plus 20, and you have a cross. It is done. Donezo. 2 minutes. And as Randall says right there, Severance too. You get your weapon to plus 30 with 1 of each gem is done. Exactly. Lucifer weapons need only 1 fused, and the 118 version doesn't need a Fallen Cross. Yeah, exactly. So the fused, and I've seen that. Now I'm the only person that I believe on PS4 who has an L weapon. And I've done it. I made the Fallen. I got the Fallen Cross, and yet you only get it to plus 30%. I know. I know they lowered the weapon cost too. Like I don't have my L Sin recipe, but I'm pretty sure that I don't even know if you need the cross to plus 100 anymore. Maybe just plus 50. And then the Gay Valga is like less, and the Burgundy is less. And you know, you don't need this Fallen Cross anymore, and the gems and whatever. Like L's are easy too. Like these gems are piss easy too. Don't even worry about them. And that's another thing. So El Sin before used to require 2 fuse mags. Now they only require 1, which is your own. So I don't need to worry about Dancing Water fused in a year from now. You know, if I so chose. You know, if I chose to wait, or if I just never got the recipe till then. Because then I'd have to farm an extra Spirit Seal, and I could have both of them right now if I wanted. It wouldn't bother me. Fox Charm and that stuff still needed for them, I think. Okay. But yeah. Like until I've seen an El Sin recipe for Gargs, yeah. Yeah, Gargs are still pretty much the same, but I think you need half as many drops. But like I said, we're going to make videos going into each and everything. And the reason for that is because the wiki is, as I said before, is becoming PC oriented. It's always been PC oriented. If you go look up Talon Breaker recipe now on wiki, it will not tell you need a magic, or not, sorry, it will tell you don't need an Enma or a Shoko. But for PS4 players or Xbox players that just don't have the recipe, want to go look it up, they can't go see. Because they've omitted that. They've made it just PC standard. So what I'm going to do is, you know, Aurogiri, I'm going to take responsibility here. I'm going to try and make like a video that just says, hey, for this recipe, this is what you need. We're going to try and make a little video wiki. So, you know, for things that I know about, so Thunderquake and all that stuff, it's like Thunderquake, you get this, this, and this, and this. It'd be like, because could you imagine, it's like, I'm going to be a spear user, I'm going to go get this mag that drops, you go play on PS4, you get in there, it's like, what the fuck's a Leo, what the fuck's a Cancer, oh, I get this in Origami Magma, we don't have that. Oh my god, and they're all distraught, and it's like, oh no. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and make videos just explaining every recipe so people can just look them up and see what they are. And alternatively, on the wiki, I made an account, and I'm going to just try and, in the comments, post a console version of the recipe. So, you know, if someone wants to find out how to make a cross or something, I'm going to go post it. Because on there, all it'll show you is the Zenith metal recipe for something, and then it's going to show you the updated recipe. Yeah, Unicorn is a 16 crit. Oh, a Cancer. Wow. I know Unicorn is a 16 crit Gemini, which is awesome. But yeah, I mean, that Cancer's kind of useless now. But you know, it was probably good back in the day. So all that's happened, all of it's happening. The wiki is still updating. It's kind of crazy. Let me scroll up here. Yeah, nothing's really changed. I'm looking at the recent activity. Nothing else has changed since a day ago. I did look at the Night Sky recipe though. Night Sky, which is the weapon I'm holding right now, and Gargoyle or Dragon Arcs have had their recipes reduced. What level is your twin sword? 1. My level, I am level 1. I have not touched it yet. I guess you do, Randall. Those would be easy. I haven't touched my Xbox character yet, but they're gonna be twin sword. What was I gonna say here? The Omen of Doom cross worth farming? Yeah. You know, crosses are really easy to make now anyway, if you're on PS4 or PC. Even more so on PC, but on PS4 the drop rate's really increased. Recipes drop real easy. You just gotta sit in there and farm 48 of your weapon if you want to make it with like as little to no artisans as possible. Well, you're gonna use artisans, but I mean you don't want to use artisans before it's a cross. So I think it's worth it because you get a cross, you use the cross to beat the gargoyles, then you get your gargoyle weapon, you use that to beat the gargoyles, you know. It's part of the food chain of weapon crafting. Don't get Xbox advice from scrubs, please. I've been seeing noobs give terrible advice to new players. Why would I get advice? You don't even need arts for... What do you mean arts? Oh, artisans. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, exactly. It's that easy. You could do it. It'd be annoying. I would actually get mad. So, do you know around when we are going to get that update? Like, that straight only made me want to wait. Maybe level or do some other thing. Exactly. So... For some things they're worth waiting on that are not necessary but are good. Like the Night Sky in the future will only require 2 of each jewel and all the weapons only need to be at plus 30. So if you make a Heaven, a Rainwater, and a Zenith, you only need to get those to plus 30 instead of plus 70, and then you get 2 of each of the Gargoyle or the Dragon Arcs gems, you get your recipe or jewel, whatever it is. You mash that all together with half the Idama, half the stones, and you have yourself a Night Sky. So yeah, like things are getting way easier. I foresee that update coming in a year, maybe 2 years, because think about it. We don't even have Vanguard accessories yet. We don't have like apparently when Miyamoto comes out, she's not awakened when she comes back. Like it's weird. Like maybe she is awakened, but we don't have Vanguard accessories. Like we don't have permanent accessories yet. We don't have. There's so much of a gap between us that we don't have yet in updates. Like, and because of how they use Vanguards in this console, where a Vanguard shows up, and then you have them for 2-3 months, and they bring in a new one. That they have that limit. Like they're not just going to be like, oh, you have Sasuke for 2 weeks and then we're going to take him away, and then you have, you know, Ibis, and then we have New Luna, and it's like they have to pace themselves. It's kind of a double-edged sword. Unless they want to just put in an SP gacha line where there's 5 units and you see like Mia, Sasuke, you know, all of them, and it's just like, okay, but yeah, she gets the accessories before her awakening. So we're so many steps behind, and PC gets updated every 1-2 weeks with something new. So in my opinion, I think we're way behind because we're just at the moon. Like Lunar Tail Part 2. They got to Lunar Tail Part 2 last summer, I want to say. Exactly, Rhett. So, like, we're still, even though we see the future, like, we're still developing in the same rate they do, or the same way, but not at the same rate, because we don't get updates every 2 weeks, God forbid. So all that stuff's gonna change. You know, now is the time, if you've ever thought about migrating to PC and saying, you know, maybe I can use a mouse, and you want to go play on PC, now's the time. You know, 2 months, you're about as powerful as you are now, depending on your class. You know, in 2 months, you can get all the friendships you need to level Moroku and be a spear user. You know, so on and so forth. Sword, you could have sky rendings the minute you get to Oshu. You have Amaras already. God damn, you don't need to, we don't need to mag farm anymore on that console. The only class that needs to farm is off field bosses, and those are staff, wand, and bow. That's done. Everyone else is just bargains. You get your mat, you level up your Moroku, you get your Watatsumi, Sagittarius, Amara, Kirin. You're done. And then Odachi has to do Kaguya's home. Boo-hoo. That's what I mean. Is there an art to being able? What I mean is there's an art being able to GG. There's a chance you can do it. And when you have to learn how to get it working. What? Okay. Man, I know what you're talking about, Sephiroth, but I don't know why you're talking about it. There's that Voyon guy. I see him all the time. Alright. So, that's all I've really had to say. So, you know, this is the beginning of changes on the horizon. And the reason why I say this could even happen to us tomorrow is because, you know, we were not supposed to get Logos Aramin at the same time. Yeah, I bet it is, Lorette. I bet. Another news, I was going to say something, but another news on Japan PC, Sarutobi Sasuke got an awakening, so it is the first Vanguard aside from Miyamoto to have an awakening. So more awakenings are on the horizon. You can probably see it in their scope that they want to make all the Vanguards viable and not just everyone just fucking going ham on Miyamoto. But another point that I wanted to talk about is that this update that PC just got, a lot of my friends on PC like Brody and people like that are really good. They keep close tabs on Japan the same way we keep close tabs on PC to see what's coming in the future. And they did not foresee this update. They did not know this update was coming. They didn't know they were going to axe the Point Daruma skill cards. They didn't know that this whole soul type stuff was coming out. So things are changing. Things aren't going to be hand-me-downs for life. It's going to be, I want to say, like a globalization. It's going to be, you know, sure, Japan can come out first because they don't have to go through translators and stuff and its home console, and they program in that language and all that stuff. But, you know, things are coming out universally. So if they can give us Logos Aramin like months before he's supposed to come, and they also gave us a Rapid Storm nerf months before it was supposed to come. The Rapid Storm nerf was not supposed to happen as soon as it did. Same thing for Chidori. Chidori gets nerfed in the future. Right now its cooldown for Chidori is 30 cooldown. It goes down to like 15 or something less. But it's still a lot of cooldown, but you're going to get hit by it a lot. And fuse mags make up for that to a degree, but Chidori does get nerfed in the future. Chidori gets nerfed, Rapid Storm gets nerfed. You know, stuff like that could happen. We could wake up tomorrow and see that. PC, there he is right there. PS4 Japan. That's interesting. Because that exists too. There is an Xbox Japan and a PS4 Japan, which we often forget about. and they had 125 before they got Lucy. Wait, what? Before we got Lucy. Oh, so you said before they did. In other words, you're saying it's changing for the good. Now, that's up to debate, Lorette. That is completely up to interpretation. If you're a new player going to PC and you see the changes, you know, you don't know the struggle. So you might still bitch. You don't know. You might be like, man, I have to farm this one mag in Wara Bazooka. I have to farm this magic. Kill myself. Dear God, I spent 30 minutes in that dungeon trying to get that mag. God forbid. You know, and then you have people on console without trading, mind you. We don't have trading on PS4. And it's like, oh, I farmed 6 Leos and 8 Cancers. You know how long it took? Fucking 5 fevers. A long time. You know. A long time. 7 hours in that dungeon. 8 hours in that dungeon, you know. And we think it's bad, but after a while it's like, it's not so bad. You know, you learn to deal with it. So in our perspective, you can either be a salty person. It's like, well, I worked, you know, back in my day, I farmed 7 hours a day and got no mags and all this stuff. Or you could be a person who's progressive and be like, oh, well, you know, why should the next generation have to work as hard as the first? Like, that's not evolution. And you'd want it to be like that. You want everything to be easier for the next people. But, you know, exactly 30 minutes is nothing. If it only... Exactly, Lorette. Exactly. Exactly. So, there's still... Like, to a degree, there has to be walls, right? You can't just be a new player and you can't just walk up to Edo on day 2. You know, Edo is insane. Buying D3 cross for... What? You're stupid. You are stupid. My God. $300? I'll sell you mine right now. I'll go make another one. God damn. So, you know, like, there's so many perspectives to it. Where, you know, I'm happy that El Sin doesn't take 2 fused mags in the future. That it just takes your own. You don't have to go out of your way to go make some other mag. Like, my friends are like, man, if my El Sin takes an attack star, fuck that. Like, seriously. Oh, okay, I get you. I get you, Randall. I get you. You know what I mean? So, it all comes down to perspective. So, if it's a good thing, I think it's a good thing. I think lowering the requirement for recipes is 100% a good thing. Absolutely. But I think taking away the point Daruma cards that you can trade in for artisans is not a good thing. Is not. Yeah, Twin is the easiest class to play because of the moon. Absolutely. Yeah. So, I think the negative thing is the artisan sword from point Daruma thing. That is the only negative. And then maybe the whole soul type and damage triangles and stuff might be bad too. So I think that's iffy. I think the point Daruma is bad. I think lowering the recipe cost for everything is amazing, because I don't think everyone should have to farm 15 days to get good. I'd rather everyone be good and have fun. I mean, this game isn't a competition. You know. For some people it is, but I'd rather just everyone be good. Poison Fang? Wow, I didn't know that. You're talking about a lot of random stuff, Randall. Let's see if I've talked long enough to get more bargains from Moroku. I have. Baby, fly wings, sign me the fuck up. Alright. So I think I've said everything I wanted to say. You know, an hour for this. I wasn't expecting such a big rant about it, but it is a lot to digest. So, you know, lots of things happening in the future. A lot of subtle things a lot of people don't realize. Like, you can't charge on a staff for a Vanguard, Chidori nerf, Rapid Storm nerf. All that stuff's coming. Okay. Your sexy face. I saw you subscribe me the other day. Hey, sexy face. Was it your first time watching me live? Well, that's awesome, man. Or woman, you got hearts. I don't know what gender you are, but that's awesome. You know, you pretty much caught me at the end of the stream. We've already discussed everything. The video will be available, and you can go look at it anytime you want. But you guys should be on the lookout, because we're gonna be having a lot of videos where we just go over how to make stuff. And after I do that, I'll probably go to the wiki and I'll post a PS4 version of that recipe, or you know, a console version on the wiki. So on the wiki, what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna comment on every page, and I'm gonna post, not every page, but you know, like every major weapon recipe, what the PS4 console recipe is. So like on Cross, I'm going to show the real recipe, whereas if you went there now, you wouldn't be able to know what you were looking for or what you had to get if you didn't have your recipe. So that's something that I'm going to try to work on. And you'll know my name on the wiki if you look for Oro Pie. So I couldn't actually use Aurelia, but I put Oro Pie. So, and funny thing is, if you go to the Leo page, there's someone complaining on PS4 about farming Leos. And someone commented there and they said, "Hi Oro." It's not me. It was not, I don't go to the wiki complaining about Leo. I've never commented on the wiki before in my life. It's not me. I don't do that. So it was funny, but someone thought it was me, and that's how cool the channel's getting. So I know, for PS4 and PC, cross recipes drop easy. But on Xbox, cross recipes are not easy till the next update. So, you know, just gonna try and do some console representation on there. I was the one that said hi. Cool. Was it? It was you? Oh, wow. That's funny. That wasn't me. So, alright, so I'm gonna get on out of here, maybe grab some lunch or something and get ready for the day. Just wanted to share that with you. See, they said hi. I'll say hi. Also, this is my new outfit I got from the money campaign. They can buy recipes though, I guess. I guess they can. I don't know why. But, you know. Just gonna try and help the community out. So, but yeah, it comes with this nice red dress. It has a top that's like all gothic and stuff, but I can't wear it because I need wings. If I don't have wings and I run with a spear, I hate life because my shoulder will bob out and I'll see it and it will destroy me. So, you know, that's how it is. Oh, take care, yeah. It was nice seeing you. Sexy. So, yeah, I'll see y'all later. Thanks for watching. Will you be making updated guides soon? Yeah, I will. I will, Lorette. I will. Don't you worry. They're in the works. I said I was going to do it. I said I was going to do it. And I'll be making guides with 105s infused in mind and all that stuff. So, see you later.